Nice.
Recording.
Awesome. Well, thank you and welcome everyone for joining us for another ParaMotion session. ParaMotion is a movement therapy program and platform to raise awareness for Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, hypermobility, and its comorbidities like ADHD, autism, MCAS, POTS. So we've talked a little bit about these concepts in earlier sessions. Session 1 and 2 you can find on our YouTube channel as well if you have missed it and you are new here. This session is mostly about the mindset, how to handle chronic illness, how to deal with chronic illness, and how to deal with chronic conditions, mental and physical, and what type of mindset do we need to have. So it's a very important session. It was actually suggested by Luti. I don't think he's here. But he's the one who suggested that something like this is needed for us. So I'm super happy to start. My co-host here is my sister Maya, and she's my co-founder as well of ParaMotion. Maybe you want to say hi?
Hi everyone. As Ines said, my name is Maya, and I'm very happy to be here and sharing this experience with you. As Ines said, our background is that we also struggle with those like chronic illness, and we went through a lot to be able to reach where we are. So we are here to share what we've learned and what we found helpful for us. So I really hope that can help you as well.
Perfect. Thank you, Maya. So we're gonna have this session interactive. So whenever you feel like you wanna just jump in, ask questions, or have a comment, you can write in the chat, or you can just unmute yourself and just like jump right in. I will start with the slides slowly and talk a little bit about it, but let's keep it interactive. So if you have questions or anything, don't be scared to interrupt me. Just go ahead. Sounds good? Oh yeah, so maybe I'll tell you the agenda of today before we get started then. I will do a presentation with my sister Maya for the Zebra Strong Mindset, and then we have a guest speaker, Meta Coach. He's gonna guide us with his wisdom and experience and talk about mindset. He talks already. He does a lot of work raising awareness for mindsets and helping others with trauma and helping others live better lives. So, Coach, if you want to say hi before we get started, also you feel free.
Good morning, everybody, and well, afternoon and evening, wherever you are in this part of the world. And I'm excited to present with these fabulous ladies and the work that they've done. So I'm excited about today.
Awesome. Thank you, Meta Coach. We're excited to hear you as well. After that, we have a surprise. So that's why I'm not going to tell you what's going to be, but it's going to be a video. And it's going to be funny. That's what I'm going to tell you for now. So stick around to figure out what the surprise is. And if nobody has any questions, then we can get started. Anybody has any questions or anything? 1, 2, 3. Okay, then we get started. All right, so let's talk about the Zebra Strong Mindset. Life is not just about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain. As you know, like life has challenges for everyone, and especially for us with chronic conditions that we deal with on a daily basis. So it's not about just like when things hit the fan, then we're like, oh, now I need to manage. It's an everyday experience, and it's an everyday effort too. So mindset is an everyday effort, and it's really just teaching us how to dance with our struggles and how to better prepare for our conditions. So let's go to the next slide.
It's not moving on the screen.
No? Why? Okay, that's why. Here we go. I'm opened it into tabs.
Okay.
So I made myself confused.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about two different types of mindsets, which is actually a very simple way to describe how the brain works and how we can really change the way that we experience life and our symptoms just by changing the way that we think Our thoughts have huge impact, and our mindset has a huge impact on our life. So, what is really a mindset? A mindset is basically an Instagram filter, or less like a filter on your life's camera. So, is this filter bright, hopeful, or is it making everything look gloomy? That's basically the mindset in simple terms. And we have two different types of mindsets. You have a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. Fixed mindset is a mindset that the abilities and the intelligence that we have is static and cannot change. So it means that we don't believe in our abilities to adapt and to change and learn new things. So we avoid failure, we avoid challenges, and then we believe our limitations are unchangeable. It's not something we cannot do anything about. It's just the way that it is. Obviously, you can think about a lot of ways how this mindset can impact our life and obviously impact us also with chronic illness. Whereas the growth mindset is the belief that the abilities and intelligence that we have can be developed through effort, learning, and perseverance. So people with this mindset embrace challenges and see failure as an opportunity to grow. So even though, for example, when you engage with failure, you take it as an opportunity to learn. When you are facing with challenges, you believe in your capacity and your ability to challenge yourself to learn new things and to adapt to the new situation and the new challenges that you have. So we need to really dig deeper into this and think of to ourselves, do we have a fixed mindset or do we have a growth mindset? And if we have a fixed mindset, then we are limiting ourselves, obviously, because we're not believing in our ability to change and adapt and grow. You want to say anything?
Yeah, I feel like in the picture in the slide is really interesting because it gives you example and the way that you speak with yourself. Like for example, for the fixed mindset, I want to avoid making mistakes. So making mistake for us is very painful. So we try to avoid mistakes, but there's no life without mistakes. So instead, we can see in the growth mindset, like mistakes help me learn. In the fixed mindset, I'll never be that smart. This critical thinking, like always, or sometimes having like this ego, like I know best, and not being open to learning new things and seeing things from different point of view. And like at some challenging point, also it's very common to say I give up. While in the growth mindset, like is this the best I can do, or what other things I can be doing? So as you can see, by just comparing these two things, how it can be limiting for the way that we see life.
Exactly, and it impacts us with our work, with our relationships, with our physical, mental health. This type of very simple mindset categorization can really help us see where are we in this, and how can we embrace a growth mindset? How can we become better? So obviously there are many reasons why mindset is important, because you are what you think and feel. We think that like, okay, our who we are is irrelevant of how we think and how we feel, and we think of our mind body as separate entities that don't interact with each other. And science and research has shown us many times that what we think, what we feel, is who we are and who we become, and it impacts our physical symptoms, it impacts our mental symptoms. Everything is interacting and everything is one and as a whole. We're not separate. Then our mind is not separate than our body is not separate from our mind. It's always interacting. So for example, if you have a growth mindset and you believe in your ability to adapt and grow, then the stress management for you is a little bit easier, because then you have lower adrenaline or lower cortisol levels, and that will reduce muscle tension and reduce physical symptoms. So if I believe in my ability to change, I believe in myself, I believe that I can adapt to new challenges and I can learn new things, then all the tension, all the cortisol, adrenaline will become much lower, and that impacts us directly physically. So it's very interactive. And at the same time, our coping skills, like if we have positive thoughts and emotions, then that can boost our immunity, especially with us suffering with autoimmune diseases. Maybe we are like, stuck in this cycle of symptoms, and then the fact that we think, oh, this will never end, I will never get better, I will always feel this way, why me, why do I have this condition? And I myself, I'm guilty of this type of thinking that has impacted my life tremendously. Like, I think this right after their diagnosis, I started feeling this kind of feeling of like, why me? Why am I just want to be normal, I don't want to have to go through this, like I don't want to be different, like and all of those emotions, they were creating more anxiety and more depression and more physical symptoms. I had more tension, I tried to, I had more muscle tension, I was always trying to fix myself into a correct position, I was bracing. So all of these things are not good for us, and they will only make it worse. So how can we help ourselves? We help ourselves by saying, okay, this is my destiny, I have this condition. And everybody has something, not nobody is living perfectly healthy lives 100%. We always try to accomplish that. So now I know something about my body, I know something about my health, and this actually maybe makes me also able, since I have a name for it, able to understand my condition, to understand my situation, and bring in change, and really work on making myself feel better rather than worse. So if I have this type of thinking, I will start to look into educational resources, I will start to exercise, follow healthier diet, because I want to improve and I want to feel healthier, even though maybe my default setting is a little bit different than other people. And that will help me release more endorphins and more serotonin, and it will improve my mental clarity, and it will improve my symptoms. Obviously, it's not like, okay, if I think positive, then I will have zero symptoms, of my condition. Of course I will have it, but it will be much worse if I don't, acknowledge it, if I don't feel positive about it, if I don't try to pursue, a healthier place. So it will reduce the symptoms, at least when it comes to the tension. So this is a quote we really like: you can't control the waves, but you can learn to surf. Imagine your life, your mental health, your condition is like the sea. Don't have control. Sometimes the sea is calm and the sun is shining, sometimes the rain is falling and the sea and the wave is like really high, and it's not calm. It's like a very uh, yeah, it's a very, tumultuous place. But then you learn to swim, you learn to surf, but you cannot change the sea, you cannot change the weather. This is how we need to deal with our lives and our physical symptoms. We need to learn to cope and learn the skills necessary. You want to add something here?
Yeah, I just want like something that really helped me to understand this. Like my mindset is like my manager. Do you want a nice manager that, like, if you do a mistake or you have something, like, understand your conditions and try to work with you, or you want a manager that, like, scream at you and
Correct.
and whenever you make something and say, like, oh no, this is not your a good work, you cannot do a good work or something. So maybe just to visualize it in a mind, that the mindset is like the manager of your life, and then you can see, okay, what kind of manager I would really like to have.
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of us, when we have struggled with physical or mental issues, and then we realize at some point we get a diagnosis, or we realize, okay, something. Uh, is somebody unmuted? I keep hearing some sounds.
Anybody has a question?
You hear it too? Some sounds? Okay. Now it's gone.
No, it's gone.
All right. So, yeah. So, for example, maybe when I was younger, I would think of my life and I would think like I would be very active. I would maybe run marathons. I would, like, be able to travel a lot more, or like live in a certain way. But then once I realized I have maybe my condition, then especially with people who joint problem, muscle issues and stuff like this, there are things that I need to mourn, more not being able to have ever maybe in my life. And that's really difficult, because it feels like you didn't sign up for this type of life, you signed up for a different life, and now you have this new realization on your life that maybe running a marathon is not the best thing you can do for yourself. Maybe it's something that you cannot achieve, or that's something you need to really build up towards, slowly, and it's not something you can do as like other people. And maybe you need to get more rest time than other people. Maybe you need to plan your travels extra hard, plan your diet extra hard, because you're sensitive to change, and your body is more prone to illness, and your immunity is not very strong. So it's like really like there's a lot to mourn and grieve when it comes to realizing all of this. So, and grief is something that we have to go through, like when someone very dear to you passes away. It's similar to that. It's like a version of you that passes away, and that you need to grieve, and grief is not linear. It comes and goes in different cycles, and it's all completely normal. But we need to remember that we're not broken. We're just evolving into a new way, a new version of ourselves. Something in the past maybe have we cannot become anymore, but we are becoming something new and something beautiful. So that's very important to also realize. So if we look at the grief in general and its stages, I think this is one of the most important things that everybody needs to look into. We all go through grief. There isn't one person on this planet that doesn't go through grief. And there are different stages to grief. Obviously, in the beginning, maybe you're denying your condition. You're denying, no, 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 I'm fine, I'm normal, everything is fine. It's not me. No, no, no. So you go through this phase of like, nah, nah, it's not that big of a deal. I got everything under control. It doesn't, and then soon you will maybe have a flare, or your symptoms will get worse because you're in denial, and then you start to get angry. And that's, I think, my I got into anger, like, and I still got stuck a bit into anger, for a while, because I was really angry. I was angry. It's like, why me? Why now? I'm still young. I'm still, I'm supposed to now be able to, do everything. And in my 20s, I'm sick. Like, I'm not supposed. This is not supposed to be this way, and I really felt anger, and I felt frustration, and this feeling that it's not fair. And then after that you start to bargain, maybe a little bit, the bargaining stage, where you're thinking, oh, maybe if I just don't think about it, it will be fine. Maybe if I drink more water, I'll be fine, or maybe I'll do this and I'll be fine. But it's obviously much more complex than that, and it's something that we need to address in much more diverse way, and address every day. It's not something we address occasionally. So later on, when you realize that, after going through a lot of symptoms and stuff, you get to depression, because you realize you have something and it's not fair, and there is nothing you can do about it, to change the fact that this is the reality that you have. So you fall into depression, because like, okay, well, if that's my reality, I reject my reality. I can't deal with this. There's no point of trying anything. I will never feel better. And obviously a lot of people get stuck here as well. I myself even got stuck in depression for a very long time, because not only because I didn't believe I could heal, it's because also I couldn't find the right help. I will tap into that a little bit later as well when we're talking about solutions or medical trauma. But it's very hard to find the right help that actually, like, I tried different things and then I fail. I just end up feeling worse and worse and worse. And then I was like, this is never gonna change. This is just not a life I wanna subscribe to. Um, and then slowly, when you start finding the right help and you start feeling more improvement, maybe you start feeling accepting of the reality, like, okay, I can still find a way forward. This is my reality, but it's not permanent. It's not always gonna be this way. It will get better. It can get better, and you feel like there is more motivation to change that. So I think this type of grief, also sometimes we go into denial, like like it's always like a cycle. It's not something that, like, okay, you go through it once and it's over. Sometimes you go again and again through it. You get stuck in different phases. Maybe it goes also in like jumping around. Maybe you are depressed and then angry. It doesn't have to look exactly this way, and it's totally fine. It can look the way that it looks for you. You just recognize that, okay, now I'm in anger, now I'm in bargaining, now I'm depressed, like now I'm accepting of this, and just recognizing that this is something that will come over and over again in our life, and is something that we can manage and we can also acknowledge, and that is totally valid. It's valid to feel this way. You want to add anything?
No, exactly. I just wanted to highlight that and emphasize that this is absolutely not linear.
Mm.
Like from depression, as I said, I jumped to anger, and I
Yeah.
then bargaining. I find myself most of the time stuck between bargaining and depression,
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes for me I misunderstand what thinking positively means. So sometimes I get confused, and bargaining for me think maybe like thinking positively. Maybe if I just do this thing, then I will be fine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So there's lots of advice, and they get confused between each other, But it was really helpful to understand these 5 stages of grief, and to try to identify each time, like I'm feeling what I'm feeling. Am I aware of those steps? I remind myself of those steps and try to label my feelings, and have more clarity.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is like you're playing a video game, right? You cannot like just jump in the middle. You don't know which level and try to win it. You need to understand which level you are and what's your goal, and then you plan it. You play it to reach there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the way we need to think about it.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, acceptance is empowering. It is really truly empowering, because all this energy that we're spending to basically deny, or this energy like used on bargaining or on depression, all that energy can now go into finding an actual solution, an actual change in our daily routine, allowing ourselves to feel these emotions, feel anger, feel frustration without judgment, because suppressing emotions will delay the healing, will delay everything. So we need to learn about the condition to understand what to expect and how to manage it. Knowledge reduces fear and empowers us. Being able to accept the reality and get the knowledge that we need, we will become less scared, and will feel more empowered. And then we need to also focus on the small goals that works for us. Every day is a different day. Every day I can accomplish this much, I'm happy with it. I'm being gentle with myself. And also I need to shift attention to areas where we can make positive change. Like, we cannot control everything, so we need to focus on what we can control, and then adapt to that and make that positive change, like adopting healthier habits or finding activities we enjoy. Like, maybe we cannot eat pizza every day, and maybe we cannot we cannot skip sleep. We have to get maybe 8 to 10 hours of sleep every night, otherwise our immunity will be reduced. Maybe we cannot be in like very crowded places all the time, because then our immunity will be compromised. Like, there are things we can control, and we can improve our symptoms and makes us stronger. So we just need to focus on that and build a system around it. You want to say anything? No. Okay. So I think now that we covered acceptance, there's something else that I think I mentioned a little bit about this before, is the fact that the medical system has failed me, has failed my family for many, many years and generations. It took me very long time, like 20 years, to get my diagnosis. And all of these years, I've been told that I am causing this pain to myself. It's in my head. It's my anxiety. It's something wrong with me, that I am causing for myself. And there's nothing worse than telling someone who's struggling so much that it's their fault that they're struggling, that they are causing this struggle for themselves. And obviously that's not the case. I have a connective tissue disorder. My tissue and the defect in collagen and the problems with my physical problems are causing this. It's not me who's causing this. I was born with this. So there's so much trauma and gaslighting that we carry around, like this bag on this guy, but it's invisible. Nobody sees this pain. Nobody sees this struggle. They see you maybe on a good day. Maybe on a good day you're looking good, you're speaking well, you're like doing, a good performance, and then like they're like, "Oh, but you're not sick." If you are sick, then you don't look sick. You don't feel sick. You don't, and then they project on you things and make you feel guilty and ashamed. And that's the last thing you need, because you are fighting so hard to put on a good front, and then when you put on a good front, people think, "Oh, then all of your sickness is not real." Instead of being supportive and being, wow, what strength you have to put on this front, even though you struggle with so many things. So there's so much there to unpack, and this trauma is real and it's valid for everybody. We really need to take this is very important to acknowledge, and we need better systems. We need better medical systems. We need better doctors that really care about their patients and their well-being, that validate them, that know that their pain is real, and not gaslight them for many, many years. Some people take them 30 years to get this diagnosis. Some people got this diagnosis when they're 50s. There's so much that could have been done earlier on, so that they don't reach maybe a level where they need surgery, or they need, major measurements or major interventions that could have been avoided if the diagnosis has come much earlier. So there's so much to grieve here. There's so much trigger. This one I can really talk about for a long time. And then, okay, after all of this, obviously you've been gaslit and been told like nothing wrong with you. You have trauma from going to a doctor. Even now, when I see a doctor, or like I need to go to the doctor for some reason, I feel immediately scared. I feel like I don't want to do it. I try to avoid it. If I don't really, really have to go see a doctor, I try to not to go see a doctor, because I don't want to go through that gaslighting again. I don't want to feel like unheard and misunderstood, and it's really hard. And then sometimes even I pass by a hospital like I've been maybe once before, and flashbacks come to me, and like, oh my god. So it's a really painful experience, and it's something that I think a lot of people can relate to.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And but the most important thing, like even if the outside doesn't validate us, we need to acknowledge that our feelings are real. Our pain is real, and we need to find a doctor that would listen. So now also I need to shift my way of, like, I don't go to the doctor find my solution. So I need to read and understand what I want the doctor to do, and then I need to go to the doctor and see if he's collaborative or not. And I like, I need this and this and that. So it's also a lot of weight to carry, because you will be like the investigator.
Advocate for
You're
yourself.
advocate for yourself. So it's also a weight to carry in addition to your suffering, which is not very helpful. But this is the way that for now it's happening. So just I want to tell you, don't listen if like you know your truth in deep inside, and your pain is valid, and try to find somebody who would listen, and don't give up. And here's are some examples to show you what the medical gaslighting sound like and how it can be. You can continue.
Yeah, so like you could see in this image, for example, all the things that I'm sure a lot of us have heard. Just anxiety. You've got to expect this at your age, if you're a certain age. For me, it was the opposite. You're too young to have these symptoms. And your symptoms aren't that bad. There's no such a thing. You're just tired. It's all in your head. Let's not run too many tests. This not be confusing. You just need to lose some weight. You're too sensitive. You did it to yourself. I think this is the worst.
And
Just
you're too sensitive. I heard
yeah.
it so many times. Like,
Yeah,
it's
you're
really
too sensitive. Oh, you're like a a butterfly.
you need to toughen up. This is life,
Snowflake.
huh? Snowflake.
Yeah. Just drink more water and you'll be fine. This I heard many times. I have other patients much sicker than you. Okay, yeah, this is such a guilt one. Like, oh, people come to me dying, and you're here looking good and feeling good. You can walk. Why are you complaining? It's like, but I'm so much pain. Um, and then also blame you for trying to look for answers online. Stop searching online. You're not a doctor. And some women specifically maybe feel even more gaslit in this situation than men, depending obviously on the professional that you're meeting with. But some women also, oh, you have a period, it's because of your period. But obviously period, even if you have issues that hard with your period, then it's also a sign of something wrong. So um, yeah, and at the end, even you get the diagnosis, oh well, yeah, there was something wrong with you, and now we just have to live with it. There's no real help, there's no real education about the condition, and there's no real tools or protocols to follow to really feel better. And that's why we built ParaMotion, because we want to build that education, we want to build that protocol, we want to really help people with something, not just like tell them, okay, you got diagnosis, there's nothing you can do. There's a lot you can do, and we can help with that. So just giving people hope, you know, it's not like just, oh, okay, oh shit, you know, you lost the genetic lottery.
Exactly.
So yeah, good luck, you know. It's really hard to hear those words. So that's why we think knowledge is power for us. We need to learn about the condition. We need to understand it and how to navigate our symptoms. We need to build systems around it and routines around it. And we need to ask questions even when we go to the doctor. You know, if the doctor doesn't meet us where we're at in our education, in our understanding, then we don't continue trying to convince the doctor anything. We just try to find a different one. um, Preferably if we can find someone who specializes in our condition, then that's the best thing we can do. But obviously that can be difficult depending where you are geographically, and you know, these conditions, especially the ones that are more rare, it's very hard to find someone who specialized that understands this. So we need to connect with others also. Like for us, for example, we've been diagnosed now for 10 years. And throughout these 10 years, we have done all of these things we're telling you to do. And we have accumulated so much knowledge that we're happy to share it with other people. If somebody comes to me, tells me, I just got diagnosed with this, like I have so much to share with them. I have so much to help them because I've been in their shoes before. So I know exactly how it feels, and then they don't have to go through the detours themselves. So there's really so much to do here, and connecting with people who have similar conditions and community like that, and trying to get practical advice from them is also essential. So just think about it, like knowing your condition is like reading the manual of your body. You know, if you don't read the manual, then it will be hard to, you know, work to function. So it will help you to troubleshoot with confidence, and then you can really build a system that suits you.
And you will feel more in control, you know, because sometimes if you we don't really learn about our conditions and how they appear and our flares up, so we can feel like we're out of control. We don't know when it's gonna happen or how we feel in which day and stuff. So but once we gain this knowledge, so we feel more strong and more in control of our destiny. So we feel like, okay, we can build systems to around this, and we can know our triggers, we can adjust for that, and we can live a simple like an easier life. And I really really recommend to find communities, like especially on Facebook you have eds groups, even for memes, you know, for to laugh about it. And for muscle activation syndrome, there are really lots of people struggling the same struggle, and they're like a walking encyclopedia because they also went through a lot, and sharing the knowledge, that's really important. And also feeling like that you are heard and you are not alone.
Meta Coach, I see you unmuted yourself. Do you want to say anything?
Well, I'll just wait till the end. I just was just assimilating these thoughts. This is such a powerful presentation here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let's keep going then. All right. Permission to rest and reflect. Once you have the knowledge and stuff, you realize, like a lot of us neurodivergent. So like when I'm talking also on EDS, you have to understand, maybe you haven't been here before, like EDS patients have 5 to 6 times you know, more likely to have ADHD, autism. So when we're talking about this, we're really talking about EDS and it's all comorbidities, because even though it's different, it's still, the management is very similar to a lot of these conditions. So a lot of us with ADHD, autism and stuff, it's very hard for us to relax, to take time off. and to really like allow ourselves to reflect and just, because we move from a place where it's hard for us to focus and get things done, that we always feel like we are in this cycle of like delays and always feel like we are behind and we feel guilt and shame. So we have problems with dopamine to motivate us to do things, and then we go and we rely on adrenaline, cortisol to do things, and that's really not the place to be, because if you're always with high cortisol, high adrenaline, you understand that this will really be catastrophic for your physical health and even mental health. So we need to learn to set up goals for ourselves, no matter how small. And once these goals are done, we need to allow ourselves to rest. We need to allow ourselves to be even lazy, sometimes, and not feel bad about it, not feel guilty. We need to treat ourselves with gentleness and compassion and celebrate the small wins. Maybe some days, you're just like floating by, you have a lot of symptoms, you don't accomplish a lot. That's okay. Not every day you have to accomplish your maximum. You cannot work on that level almost always, always. So just celebrate the things that you can control, and that make a reasonable list every day when you wake up. I always do this. I have a pen and paper, even like more old school, and I write down like the things that I think I can accomplish today, and if I accomplish them, I give myself a reward. Whatever, is it ice cream, or it's like this snack I really like, or go for a walk, or go, whatever that reward is. So we need to give ourselves this type of help. This help to like, okay, today this is what I can do. I do it. I feel good about doing it. I feel happy with my accomplishment, and I can rest. I can reward myself. So this is very important.
And guilt free. I emphasize on trying to have like give yourself permission to rest without any guilt or shame.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's really where we tap into self-compassion as well. Like, we need to pretend that we are a toddler, and talk to ourselves in a very gentle way, like, it's okay, you get it again, the next time you will be better, it's ever okay. Imagine when we were kids, maybe starting to learn how to walk. If every time we fell, we said, okay, I will never try to walk again, we will not be walking today. So failure and all of this is part of learning, is part of the process. We need to accept it. And we need to, oh, okay, I fell this time, but next time I will try again and I will not fall. So I need to allow myself to fail. I need to allow myself to rest, and I need to replace the self-criticism with things like, I am allowed to rest. I'm figuring this out. I am getting better. I am, learning more. I am, these positive affirmations are very important for us. And then you can also think about yourself, like, if you are having a friend that is struggling, how will you approach it? What will you tell them? And then think, can I say this to myself? Can I say this to myself? Because I am my struggling friend as well. So it's very important to build that kind of relationship with yourself.
Yeah. Kindness with oneself can like really take us so far. So, and this is something I think all of us struggle with a little bit. It's much easier to be kind to other people than to ourselves, and especially in our society, where like we really appreciate productivity and always the hustle culture and push, 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 and we're not made for this. And if we cannot like thrive in under pressure, it's normal, because we're human. We're not robots, and we're not made for this. So acknowledging this, acknowledging our humanity first of all, and being nice to ourselves, like, this is, in my opinion, this is revolutionary in our society. So that's very important.
And luckily, in this day and age, we have technology to help us leverage, and to help us with all of these things. When it comes to, for example, AI, for example, I use it a lot for journaling, for brainstorming, or even venting. I feel like it's my body, if I have these thoughts, if I have like, I feel stuck in some thought, or I feel like I need extra feedback, It's very helpful. And even journaling, like my symptoms, journaling everything, like I can really discuss things with ChatGPT, and it's really helpful even with my work, with writing emails, with yeah, any type of work that you do, you can really have ChatGPT there as like as your assistant. And obviously you have also mental health apps, like we can have for mindfulness, and you can have symptom trackers, and you can also find support groups. I think that's one of the most important ones as well, on Reddit, Discord, Facebook. You can find people who have gone through what you're going through and have figured out a little bit about it, so that they can share their tips and resources.
Yeah, even for food, I use ChatGPT. For example, I have Flair today give me some advices of food that doesn't have histamine in it. So, and the recipes and stuff. So really, ChatGPT can be your best friend and guidance.
Absolutely. And we need to remember that we struggle a lot because we don't have structure. So introducing structure to our everyday life is essential. We need to start small, like small morning rituals, or schedules to take our supplements or to take the medication that we need. We need to also be flexible with the schedule. It's not like, okay, I have this schedule. If I don't accomplish it, then I'm a loser and I'm a failure and all of these things. So I think it's important to also be like, okay, I have this schedule, but it's flexible. Like I always try to have like short-term goals, long-term goals, but I know also that these goals are flexible, they're unchangeable depending on where I end up. But it's good to start with something because it gives me that guidance. And then obviously every day maybe things shift a little bit, and that's fine. That's totally fine. So we need to be flexible with it. And maybe one day I'm like, I'm having these goals and then I don't end up doing anything, but it's okay, because this day I needed to do nothing, and then on another day I will do more. So yeah, I think that this is like something that we can really work on, and make everything ADHD friendly. For example, timers, checklists, and visual cues. Like for me, if I have tasks and I need to do them, if I don't write them on a list, I don't have motivation. It's like kind of, oh, whatever, I'll do them at some point. But the moment I write them down on a checklist, then I get like, oh my God, I need to finish the checklist. I really need to check everything. So I get this motivation. And that's very important for us to create these deadlines and rewards and motivations, since we don't have them naturally. So this is extra important for us, but everybody benefits from this, even people who are neurotypicals and don't struggle as much. So everybody benefits, but for us it's extra essential. So basically, we need to be our own hero, our own zebra, our own warrior. And we need to think that rest is resilience, is strength. It's a sign of strength that you can rest and take time off. And we can focus also on what we can do versus what we cannot control. If you cannot control something, you can grieve it, go into the grieving phase and acceptance, but you need to focus on what you can control. And just remember, you are adaptable, you are creative, and you are strong. We need to have a healthy self belief and healthy self esteem. If we believe we are incapable of change, incapable of adapting, we think that we are weak, unintelligent, all of this will not take us anywhere. It will not make things better, it will just make things worse. So we need to start from a place where we believe in ourselves and our capacity to adapt and change. Okay, so one last slide before we end it. Of course, for us, essential is movement. Whether you struggle with autism, ADHD, or EDS, or any of the comorbidities, exercise is very important. But when I say this, I know a lot of people tell me, okay, I'm so much in pain that I cannot think of exercising ever. I have been exercising before and I have had injuries, and it had just led me to feel worse. And to that, I have an answer. Was like that. I was saying the same thing. I was working out, I tried everything, and I was also getting injury and stuff because I wasn't taking my condition into account when I'm working out. Working out looks different every day. For me, I have a goal. Every day I have to work out an hour, but what does that mean? Some days I just do meditation. Sometimes I just do very small, gentle movement, like. And some days when I have more energy, I can do more challenging stuff, like it depends. Every day is different. And for example, since we have pain as well, maybe today I have lumbar pain, which is like low back pain. I think a lot of us struggle. It's a massive Even people who don't have EDS have it, but we have like a little bit of instability, so you can think like how much worse it can get for us. So maybe today I wake up with back pain, then I do something about for my back, you know, and then another day maybe my shoulder, maybe my feet, maybe my knees need some care. So think about exercising, not just exercising, it's movement. Think of yourself as a creature that moves and loves movement, and movement can take different shapes and forms. Every day can be a different day. We choose what really fits us in that day. Even if it's 10 minutes, even if it's 5 minutes, it's still something that your body will thank you for. And it's something that you can find the right exercise, the right program for you, and you can find the right things that make you feel good. If you exercise and feel worse, it doesn't mean you shouldn't exercise. It means you should try something different. So
Yes, exactly. And I just want to highlight for our condition, a
Mhm.
condition like EDS and the other comorbidities,
Mhm.
movement is very important because we already have problem with our connective tissues, and we don't have that, for example, the pressure of the blood properly, and we don't have the lymphatic drainage that come properly because our tissue elasticity is the problem. So, and all the liquid needs some pressure to move around the body. So we need to give it also a little bit of push by this gentle movement. I understand sometimes we're so tired, it's very hard to move, and we are in so much pain. But even some movement on the bed with some twisting or some movement with that very gentle can help the liquids in our body move, and that will help us feel less pain and more relaxed and more in a parasympathetic nervous system.
Mhm. Yeah, very well said. Well, yeah, if I'll open the floor now if you guys have any questions.
Or after meta coach, if you want to jump now.
I think it's better to have questions about the presentation and then maybe meta coach after. So,
Yes.
yeah, if you guys want to ask anything or have any comments about the presentation, speak now before we move on to coach. So Linda's talking, she uses Insight Timer and she finds it excellent. Cyrus is talking about loving the use cases.
Yeah, ChatGPT is my venting in my therapist ChatGPT.
Yeah, for sure. You guys want to expand a little bit more, Linda or Cyrus?
I just think you've given so many useful examples and have covered this topic so thoroughly. I think I probably speak for all of us when I say thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you, Linda. All right, all right, then Meta Coach, the floor is yours.
All right. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent. What we just witnessed was the exceptional power of turning pain into purpose and passion. You know, as I listen to these ladies talk, I think about the winning mindset, which I'm a big advocate of. And as they talked about mindset, and I see this where you all have taken your pain, you've turned it into a purpose, but also a purpose with passion. And we all have something. We all have an issue. We all have an opportunity to turn what many people would look at as misfortune or a pain or a debilitating situation and turn that into a purpose. But it takes a certain mindset to be able to do that, because as these ladies pointed out, it's so easy to fall into depression. It's so easy to give up because the world will tell you, hey, just lay down and just just deal with it because it's not worth it. But a winning mindset says that I get up each day and I celebrate my step. I celebrate whatever I can accomplish this day. And as we do that, it's like we build this internal mental muscle that begins to develop. So the more I step forward, the more that I find that I have the ability to do so. But one of the big pitfalls, and Inez and I, we talked about this, is the PTSD side of things, because that part of it can hit so heavy. But I also have witnessed collateral PTSD, people who are around us who want to support us, but they may not have the fortitude. They may not have the understanding of how to be there for us. So they fall into a state of PTSD where they either pull back, give up, or try and encourage you to give up. And so, as you pointed out in the end, you sometimes have to be your own advocate, that you can't let the opinions and ideas and the abilities of others keep you from your purpose and your passion. And so in doing so, you continue to develop that mental fortitude and that ability to move forward. But PTSD is real. And like I said, I've witnessed collateral PTSD with a loved one that was dealing with, it was a disease that basically took their lives. They were dealing with cancer. And I watched this individual go through the pain and the struggle and all the things associated with that horrible disease. And I saw people begin to fall away because they couldn't bear being there. They couldn't stand watching what was going on. And so they pulled away, but they pulled away at a time that this person desperately needed them to be there in their life. But it was collateral PTSD. And I encouraged that person. I said, well, you can't fault them or you can't blame them for not being here, because they have not developed at a point to where they could stay the long haul. So appreciate those of us that are still here. Appreciate those of us that are going to be more or less your ride or die, that are going to walk through with this to you however long it takes. And so if you have somebody in your life or in your circle that's dealing with something like that, I want you to really take a close look at yourself and say, how much am I able to support? And so just like building that mental muscle, picking up your foot one day at a time, sometimes when you're in a support role or being there for somebody, sometimes it's just like that for you. I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna go. I'm gonna be there. I may not be able to give 100%. I may not be able to give 5%, but I'm gonna be there and I'm gonna continue to be there. So that winning mindset says that regardless, I'm gonna put forward the effort. I'm gonna make the step. And what I see taking place in this presentation here is two people who have done that. The research, the examination, the struggles, and the gut punches that you have taken. Like I say, going to the doctors, and the doctors are saying, hey, it's in your mind. You did it. I consider those gut punches because for real in fact, hey, I have something going on here. But the medical professionals who are supposed to have some level of compassion or some level of insight are not there for me. And I personally think that some medical professionals are suffering from collateral PTSD also. They see so much trauma, they see so much pain that they become more or less numb to it, and numb in the fact that they don't even realize that they become numb to it. And so sometimes it takes an awakening for these people to get back on the ball. But if you are the one that's in the middle of this situation, you can't wait. And I see that Zebra Strong decided, hey, we're not going to wait. We're going to get in here. We're going to throw punches back at this situation, and we're going to grow. But in the process, we're going to bring others along. And anytime that you're dealing with something and you make up your mind, hey, I'm gonna go through this. and I'm gonna do my best, but I'm gonna bring somebody along. You become amazed at how much strength you gain in the process, and how much insight when you decide, hey, I'm not just going to do this for myself, I'm going to do this for others, that others may be able to make it. I was thinking about the motto of the U.S. Coast Guard, and there's a team called Rescue. These are people who go in and they rescue people in the most desperate situations, and their motto is that others may live, and that is their motto. And I think when we take our pain and turn it into purpose, we have that model that others may grow, that others may heal, that others may come to a place of knowledge. So that's part of a winning mindset when I take my pain, turn it into purpose, and move with passion. And that's what I've witnessed here today. And that's what I want to encourage everybody to do, because we all have something. And I just want to close with a note on mental health. And I want you all to hear me closely what I'm saying as I explain this. We all have mental health issues. There's not a person that walks this earth that does not have a mental health issue. And I want to distinguish mental health issues from a mental health crisis, because too often when the word mental health is out there, people look at it from a standpoint of a negative, a crisis situation. But if I wake up in the morning and I'm depressed and I'm struggling to get out of bed, you know, it may be more mental than physical. And so at that moment, my mental health is not optimum, because optimum mental health is saying, I'm going to get up, I'm going to go. I'm going to be excited about what I'm doing. But we all are at various stages. And so the thing is to acknowledge where we're at, acknowledge what we're feeling, but also make up our minds, regardless, I'm going to get up, I'm going to take a step. I'm going to get up, I'm going to move forward. So if my mindset is constantly moving forward, then I'm going to do something. And sometimes that moving forward may be saying, hey, I'm going to lay back down, put the covers over my head, and get myself 30 more minutes of sleep. That may be your step forward, because you're doing something positive. And so, but whenever you are moving forward and you make a decision in a direction, that is a process of moving forward. That's a process of healing. But we should also be open to celebrating whatever step that we can make, because that's where the healing comes in. That's where we begin to lift the veil off of the depression and the mental health issues. So, but we have to acknowledge that we all are, just like physical health, we all are at various stages of physical health, and our physical health can be good one day and bad the next day, and it can be like a roller coaster. So is the case with our mental health. But we need to be cognizant of that and be aware of what we're feeling, being in touch, and being able to communicate that, even if it's just to myself. I stand in the mirror and say, hey, this is how I feel, but I'm going to get through this day. This is what's going on, but I'm gonna tackle it. Or this is what's going on, but today I'm gonna lay it aside and I'm gonna rest my brain, rest my mind, rest my body. But as long as you're making decisions, cognizant decisions about what you're dealing with your situation, count it as a victory, pat yourself on the back, and get up and have a winning mindset. And with that, I turn it back over to Inez.
Thank you very much, Coach, for your wise words. That was very helpful to understand.
Thank you.
Yeah, and for everybody, it would be really good to have like a small exercise, like maybe choose one thing that you can do for yourself for the next week. It might be like exercise or reading something, or maybe journaling, or maybe this like talking with ChatGPT or whatever. But it would be good, for example, after this, where you notice that you need the most things, or like where you felt more related in this presentation or from the coach words. It would be good to say like, okay, I need to do this step for myself for next week. And once you do it, you need also to celebrate it.
Mm-hmm. Reward yourself. It's very important that you reward yourself. So thank you so much, Coach, for your wise words. It was such a good addition to our presentation. I was really happy we did this. Uh,
Yes, thank you. You're welcome.
awesome. So anybody else wants to share anything before we move on to our surprise? All right. So I think everybody's happy. I hope this is silence means happiness. um, perfect. All right. So what we prepared for you guys is this. So we made like a funny compilation about like memes from TikToks. I think this is very powerful to also make humor and make fun of the situation. Sometimes there's the funny part that makes us relate to others, but at the same time also makes us kind of not take things as seriously and really look at more positive way. So yeah, this is gonna be like just 9 minutes, and we're gonna laugh, I hope. So let's get started.
Now, the main problem area is up here. All of this going on up here is what's causing me the most physical discomfort. It's like a visceral reaction of discontent coming from this area. This area is not good either. I hate this, but I'm mainly worried about this.
Oh! Lucky me!
Why? Why? Oh, that's why.
Tired. I should shower so it'll wake me up. If I'm gonna shower, I should exercise first so I don't have to shower twice. If I'm gonna exercise, I should eat first. If I'm gonna cook, I should have coffee first so I can have energy to cook. If I'm gonna make coffee, I should clean the coffee maker. If I'm gonna clean the coffee maker, I should clean the kitchen. If I'm gonna clean the kitchen, I should clean the apartment. If I'm gonna clean the apartment, I should put some music on. If I'm gonna put some music on, I should charge my phone. While my phone's charging, I'll just go back to sleep.
Executive dysfunction is such a bizarre phenomenon to explain to people who don't have it.
I want to do the task. I'm tired of not doing the task. In my brain hole is like, do the task, just do the task. You're anxious because you haven't done the task. But alas, I cannot.
Yeah, you can swing by. Cool. I'll see you in like 30 minutes. 30 minutes? Yeah. Okay. Bet. See you then. Cool. Bye. Hey man, you still coming over? It's been like 45 minutes. No, I was never gonna come up. What? I was cleaning. Great. Why do you ask? Dude, it is so funny how you never remember that you told me to call you a couple times a month and tell you I was coming over in like 30 minutes so you'd anxiously clean your entire apartment. Oh, that's right. I'm a genius. Definitely a weird approach, but obviously it works. Works every time. Thanks, man. Hey, your teachers emailed us. They said that you're not doing your homework. What have you been doing? Yeah, my brain wanted to learn how to draw instead. Holy shit, I didn't know you could draw. When'd you learn how to do that? Like 2 weeks ago after the whole customizing shoes phase. When'd you start doing that? I think it was like a month ago after the Rubik's Cube phase. Wow. Anything else? What else you been doing up here? Well, I just hit 3 million followers on TikTok. How did you learn all of these things? I don't know. I just follow the dopamine. What are you doing? I thought you had that big essay due tonight. I do. And what are you waiting for? Well, the rush, the pressure, the urgency. 6 hours isn't enough pressure for you? I guess not. Why do that? Why procrastinate? Well, it's not like I've got dopamine on my side, so I gotta outsource to adrenaline. It's like when motivation fails, adrenaline prevails. You know what I mean? That doesn't seem very healthy. What, using mostly cortisol and adrenaline to complete almost everything I do in life? Yeah, bad. I don't know what to tell you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get back to doing nothing before I need to do everything. So, what happened to the mountain of dirty dishes that usually lives in your room? Oh, I've started using the might as well principle. What does that mean? I mean, I'm gonna go to the kitchen at some point, right? So before I go now, I tell myself, might as well take the dishes with me. Okay, that's clever. But did you also fold your laundry too, or am I hallucinating? Oh yeah, that's another hack. I've started lying to myself to get more chores done. Lying? How's that work? So I tell myself, you only have to fold one t-shirt. Just one, no pressure. My brain goes, I can handle one t-shirt. And then it switches to, all or nothing, boom, all the laundry's folded. So you're basically tricking yourself into being productive. Pretty much. I have to fool my brain like a stubborn toddler. Hey, we're just gonna start this one thing, no pressure, all right? And bam, I've cleaned the entire apartment without even realizing it. Do you have any other tricks? Oh, tons. Like for cleaning the bathroom, I just put all the cleaning supplies in the middle of the bathroom floor, and I tell myself, you don't have to clean, just move them out of the way. But as soon as I'm holding the sponge, my brain goes, might as well scrub the sink. And before you know it, I'm deep cleaning the entire bathroom. That seems shockingly effective. Okay, let's get to work. What am I doing? Let's get back to work. Oh, you know what? I forgot to switch the laundry. What is going on? What was I just about to do again? Right, the laundry. Whatever. I'll just do it later. Back to work.
Andy Samberg.
So good.
What the actual funk is going on? Okay, you know what? The thing I want to do right now is scroll on TikTok. Yep, I'm just going to scroll on TikTok till I die. It worked. I'm free. I can finally get back to work. Whew.
All right, so everyone's asking what's... Excuse me, sir.
You done writing? What? Yeah. So what are you up to now? Now? Well, right now I'm kind of just caught in a whirlwind of negative thoughts. Like I'm a terrible person that doesn't deserve happiness. I'm lazy, not smart. Nothing's going to work out for me. Oh, and I'm probably a narcissist for feeling all the feelings that I'm feeling right now. It's a bit chaotic up there. Oh, so you're ruminating. The creative energy from writing is now transformed and morphed into a monster that's attacking every fiber of your being right now. What? No, I mean, why would my imagination do that to me? Because your brain's bored, dude. It needs constant stimuli, and the easiest way to get that stimulation is by hosting one of the least funniest Comedy Central roasts with you in the hot seat inside of your own head. So how do I stop this demon version of Jeff Ross from attacking me? Well, you just work towards getting better at identifying when Jeff Ross shows up and starts attacking you, and slowly learn to switch your attention to something else right away. Okay, yeah. Ooh, I'll go on Amazon. Little shopping spree. That'll kick the negative thoughts right out of my head. Whoa, hold on. Try switching to another creative thing. Or even better, you're going on this run with me. No, I'm good. I can't do that. That's Jeff talking again. Come on, let's go. Shh, you're right. Man, it's like a light switch, but with like live wires all around it. All right, let's go. Stop doing that. It's super distracting. Stop what? The wiggling? Oh, sorry. It's just because I've had to pee for the past 45 minutes. Sheesh, what are you waiting for? Go! Can-doozle. I'm in the zone. Surely leaving for 2 minutes won't impact your zone. I have a very fragile focus, my friend. And don't call me Shirley. Okay, well, can you keep the wiggling to a minimum? It's a great movie, isn't it? What? Airplane. Never seen it. Oh, here, we can watch it right now. I'll pull it up. But you were just working so hard. You were in the zone. Boy, do I have to pee. Okay, you watch the first part and I'll catch up. He said fragile. He meant fragile.
Do you want to get dinner later? What? Sorry, do you want to get... Yeah, I think dinner would sound great. Let's do dinner. Go dinner. Okay, okay, do you want to meet up at 5 o'clock or do you want to meet up at 6 o'clock? I can do either. What? Sorry, I said, do you want to... Let's do 5:30. I think 5:30 works better for my schedule. Let me think about it. Yeah, 5:30. Let's do 5:30. You okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Why are you doing that? What? Why are you... It just takes me a couple extra seconds to process things sometimes, you know? I got ADHD. It's not even HD anymore, it's 4K. I got AD 4K happening up here, so it just takes me a couple extra seconds to process what you're saying to me sometimes because of the stuff that's happening all up here, so it happens. Okay, do you want me to talk slower? What? Do you need me to talk slower? What? Jesus. Do you need... No, I don't need you to talk slower. I got what you're saying. I understand. Oh my God.
What does it mean?
ADHD?
Yeah, what is it exactly? Is it real?
Oh, it's real.
But what does it mean?
Well,
like if someone has ADHD, it's not like you have herpes, right? Like, it's a disease.
It's not a disease. So let me ask you a question, if I may.
Okay.
If I were to stress you right now, create stress, emotional difficulty, or tension for you right now, what would be your options of dealing with that? Of dealing with me? What would be your options?
I could get upset or I could leave.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You could fight back, flight or fight, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
But what if you didn't have those options?
Yeah, then you're stuck.
And now what does the brain do when you're stuck like that?
Gets distracted.
It gets tunes out.
Yeah, it tunes out. You want to do other things, think about other things.
In other words, it's a coping mechanism.
Yeah. What is the wackiest ADHD symptom?
I'd say it's probably being a perfectionist without the capability of motivating yourself to achieve said perfection. So you're constantly stuck in this state of paralyzing anxiety and self-doubt, all the while feeling worse about it every passing minute. Well, yeah, that's pretty wacky.
Cancer. So,
All right, that was it, you guys. What do you think about it? Did you enjoy it? Linda, so good.
I think it was very entertaining, but also insightful.
That's great. That's great.
yeah, I felt seen in so many of these videos.
Cyrus says, loved it. My heart is racing thinking I now have ADHD. I understand. Do you guys think we should do this more often, like bring these TikTok videos 10 minutes? Do you think it's a good addition to the event that we do it like some regularly? Yes. Lisbeth says yes. Totally. Very good addition. All right, so I guess we have a new thing we can do together. And this was really fun for me also, to be honest. Like even creating the video was fun. I was laughing. I was like enjoying it. Especially the comedy aspect. Yeah, exactly. Because we need to laugh. You know, life is difficult as it is, and we need to learn to laugh, you know, and we need to take things less seriously and relate to other people. So I have tons of these videos, so I'm happy to make more of them. And we will add it to our, we call it the comedy special maybe.
Yeah. But would you like it to be all in a row like this, or would you prefer it to have like one video at a time and then we stop and discuss it and sharing experiences?
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good question. So do you guys think we should discuss the videos or just watch them all at once? Can't decide.
We could try both ways. I think there's benefits in both. You know, watching them and discussing them, and sometimes just watching all the way through and getting some thoughts behind it.
Yeah, that's good. Maybe now we can discuss something. Do you guys feel you want to discuss any of the videos so far?
Listen to Metacoach. Okay.
It's good to all together. It's like a show. We are listening to Metacoach. That's why we have him telling us things. Takes away the analysis paralysis. Yeah, true. Okay, so we do it just at the end. And if you have any comments about a certain video, you can feel free to engage with us. What would Coach do? What would you do, Coach? Would you play it all as a comedy special, or would you discuss it?
I would play it all the way through and discuss it, because just thinking about it now, the one where the guy was laying there in bed and trying to make a decision, and how every thought he came up with, he had another reason why he should do something else. And I said, even though that's an exaggerated example, and it's actually a reality for far too many people. They never get to the place of doing what they need to do, because every time they think about what I need to do, well, if I do this, I need to do that. And they get stuck in this cycle of analysis paralysis.
Absolutely, I get stuck in that. I mean, it becomes better when I have slept well, ate well, and all of these things. But if maybe I haven't slept well or like something like this, then I really get stuck real hard, you know. And then I really need to get myself out. And I'm like, wait, what have I been doing for the last half an hour? You know, nothing. So it's really, you know, really something that we all struggle with. My God, I never knew I had ADHD. It explains a lot.
Welcome to the club.
Welcome to the club. Don't worry, it has fun parts too. I really like the same guy. Like he makes a lot of good videos. His name is the Wolf, Connor the Wolf or something.
Connor, yeah.
Yeah, and then he's saying the life hacks. I don't know if you guys liked it because he's talking about the might as well. I think I'm living my life. Might as well, you know. Because if I'm gonna like make the thing that I need to do so big, I will never do it. I will have to make it so small that I start doing it, and then once I start doing it, I'm like, might as well do everything, you know. And that's really my life. Yes, exactly. You always trick your brain. Cindy is also saying she does that. Yes. I love that. When I saw it, I was like, I feel seen. You know?
Yeah, and also like I always do the same thing. Like if I'm really focused on something and I need to go to the toilet, I'm very scared to go because once I leave my
yeah, that
computer, everything will disappear from my brain. I will forget everything. And I'm like, no, I need to finish what I'm doing, otherwise I will struggle.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And also the fidgeting around, it's crazy. Yeah, Meta.
Here's a life hack if you work in the corporate world or something. I've been in business meetings where analysis paralysis has stopped the process and nobody says anything. You know, the leader is asking for solutions. And all of a sudden somebody will say something, and all of a sudden that becomes the solution. Even though it may have been a stupid solution, it's just because somebody said something and broke the analysis paralysis. And all of a sudden they're considered to be the smartest person in the room. So what I learned was, in those kind of situations, if you really want to be the smartest person in the room, use critical thinking and come up with a solution. So when people get stuck, you unstuck them with a real solution, and therefore you become the smartest person in the room.
Wow. Good tips.
Because I know I've gone out of a meeting, I'm going, that was a stupid idea, but nobody else said anything. We were all stuck. And that one person came up with something, and we walked out of there with a half-baked idea because that's what was said.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. That's very true. Amazing. Yeah, I mean, even Gabor Mate, I think Linda also said she really loves him. He's a psychologist. He has a book on ADHD. He has a book as well on trauma. What was
The Myth of Normal?
The Myth of Normal, yeah. That's actually a very good book. So I really recommend checking him out, reading his books. Sorry?
Myth of Normal is his latest book, and it's outstanding.
It's amazing. I loved it. I loved it so much.
I think the one about ADHD is called The Scattered Mind.
Yeah, the one about ADHD is a bit older book, but it's also good. Scattered Mind.
Yes.
Cyrus, you unmuted yourself. You want to say something? Pinky and the Brain. Oh, I used to love that when I was a kid.
Yes, I loved it too.
We can't hear you if you're trying to speak, Cyrus. Do you guys hear him? Hello? No. We can't hear you. Sorry.
Okay. The mic's not working.
Alright, sorry. Yeah. Too bad. But you can write down what you want to say. I can read it if you want. It's refresh. Yeah, refresh. Yeah, do that. Perfect. Yeah, and Gabor Mate, he talks a lot about okay, so the myth of normal is basically talking about how we live in a culture where normal is a toxic way of being. Our mental health, like everything that is required from us to do right now is to fit into society, is toxic for our body, for our health, for mentally and physically. So he talks about how like this is normal, everybody does this, but it's a myth because it's actually not normal, and it's impacting us very negatively, and that's felt so validating on so many levels. So yeah, if you guys would like to check that out, that book is really like a must read.
And I think I have the PDF somewhere. If anybody would like me to send the PDF, just write to me, okay?
Yeah, Cyrus, you want to try again? I'll take issue, no worries. Just wanted to say this was an insightful event. Thank you, Cyrus. We're really happy that you are here with us, joining us, enjoying this event, and welcome to the ADHD club.
The cool kid club.
Yeah, you're now officially a neurodivergent cool kid, you know. All right, well, thank you, Cyrus. So the next event will be after the holidays. So now we're all on a break. I want you guys to have the great holiday. Take this into account, you know, the mindset. Take your time to reflect. Rest this holiday as well. Try to spend time with yourself, like, you know, exercising, doing things that really makes you feel good, and prioritize your well-being. Even though maybe you're with family and friends, it's important to remember that to care for ourselves. I really wish you all Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and we will meet you soon. I think it will be like the second week of January, but I will keep you posted on X, LinkedIn, all the social media. This episode will be available also on YouTube channel ParaMotion EDS. You can find it there. I'll also link it in the comments on my posts. So if you want to come back to this episode, watch it again, you're more than welcome. Now we can actually just party. I can put some songs on. If anybody has something to say before we have the dance party, feel free.
Yeah, I wanted also to say if anybody has a topic in mind, would
Yes,
like
a
us
request,
to, a
yes.
request to talk about, also please feel free to write your suggestions.
Elizabeth saying how to slide.
Is it okay?
Yeah, Coach, go.
Is it okay? Is it okay if I mention my next talk? Is it okay if I do that?
Of course, yes, please do it.
Okay, next Monday I'll be doing my final talk for the year, and it's gonna be titled "How to Thrive in 2025: The Power of a Winning Mindset," and that'll be next Monday.
Awesome. We're looking forward to that. I'm sure it's gonna be great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Awesome. Anybody else want to say anything? Yeah, if you have suggestions for topics or things that you're really excited to learn more about, please message us on X or whichever platform you have us on. You can write also here in the chat, or just like, we are happy to have your suggestion. We are happy to support you in the best way possible. Thank you, Lisbeth, for coming. If you remember, I also had an exercise session that we did together last time. I'm not sure everybody here was there last time, but if you would like to exercise with me, then you can actually think about it like in a way that, okay, you know what? For the next 2 to 3 weeks, I have to do this class by myself with Ines once. And if you do it once, you reward yourself with whatever you want. You want a cinnamon bun, you want, you know. So it's very important that we move. And this exercise is actually made for us to move gently. So you don't have to worry about injury or anything like this. And it's very short. It's like 10 minutes. So this is the exercise session. So as you can see, it's a beginner class. The movements are very small, and it's a lot about breathing. It's a lot about moving just slowly and mobilizing different joints, going into bridges and stuff like that, moving the arms. So it's very good, very easy, 10 minutes. You're in, out. Just try to put that in mind that you do it once. This holiday season, just one time you exercise with me, and next time you can tell me how it felt, and we will talk about it, who did this exercise session with me. And we will also offer more exercise sessions in the future so that we can exercise together again in the next event. Cynthia is saying thank you so much for this, looking forward to joining again, wishing you a relaxing holiday season for all. Thank you, Cynthia, thank you for coming. Well done, guys, really amazing. Thank you, Cyrus.
So much.
Thank you. All right, so now I'll get you guys going with a few songs before we end this. So let's dance.
Welcome to InesLand, in the metaverse, a Mediterranean island, where the sunset meets the sea. Join with your avatar and show us your true soul. We learn and grow. We share art and hope. We dance to the beat and swim deep in InesLand. We meet. We connect and heal. We stick together. We be free. And eat. We sit and pause and wait and felt. Not dance. Dance.
هذا جديد في عالم ادت نسيت ما اروح لايف على whole spatial. I forgot to do that. We are live. Visit
Here we connect and heal. We stick together. We be free. Where science meets health, we welcome you in open arms. Open arms. Life is not supposed to be full of pain. You can be free from strain. ParaMotion. Let's play more game. ParaMotion. We are warriors, signal warriors. Stuck and fight or flight. Cannot see the light. Can't sit still. Can't think straight. Wait, hold on. Just breathe. Reprogram your brains. Be free. To be free. ParaMotion. Let's play more game. ParaMotion. We warriors, sit low warriors, all the way. ParaMotion, let's play the game. ParaMotion, we are warriors, sit low warriors, fight and fight or flight. Cannot see the light, can't sit still, can't think straight. Wait, hold on, just breathe. Reprogram your brain to be free.
Every time. I guess like that's when you know you made it. Biggest Japan.
Let's play the game. ParaMotion. We are warriors, Sigma warriors, all the way. ParaMotion. Let's play the game. ParaMotion. We are warriors, Sigma warriors, all the way. All the way. All the way. To be free.
Thank you guys. So that was the theme song for InesLand and ParaMotion. I hope you enjoyed this event. I don't want to take more of your time. So any last reflections, anything before we close? Oh, I didn't show you the art. Do you guys want to see the art? I think I showed it to you before. Do you guys want a tour or an art visit before we end, or you feel satisfied? You feel like it's time to move on? Talk to me. Somebody talk to me.
Yeah, I think they're not busy.
Is it the same? Is it the same art that you had last time?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I enjoyed that art. I saw that before.
Okay, perfect. All right then. Yeah, if there are nothing else you guys want to share with us, we will see you very soon. I will also make some more songs specifically for each event as we progress, so that you can find all of these songs on YouTube if you would like to listen. Support us. You can follow us also on our channels. So thank you so much for coming. I really enjoyed having this event. It will be out soon as well, this recording, and stay tuned for the next one. I'm excited.
Thank you, everyone.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Let's keep it going. Let's
do that.
I wish everyone a very great holidays.
Happy holidays. Yes. Don't forget to exercise with me once.
You got it.
All right. See you
I'm
guys.
about to exercise now in 5 minutes.
Awesome. Perfect. All right. Oh, group pic. Yes, Cyrus. Let's do a group pic. Everybody, where are you? Here? Okay. Oh, let me come. I'm still dancing. All right. Oof. Group pic. Woo. Oh, that's so cute. We look amazing. Wow, I love it. Amazing. Thank you guys. You are awesome. Lisbeth is going like, ah. Love it. Amazing. See you guys soon. Thank you.
And then like, I didn't know I have ADHD.
Everybody in the metaverse have it.
I don't like that.
Tell us. You can turn off the recording.